Welcome to Reflect with Ed Fazio. Get ready to experience one of the world's first 100% digitally generated podcasts, where we take a step back, dive deep, and strive to learn new things. Join us as we unpack thought-provoking ideas, personal reflections, and inspiring stories to help you stay in the know. Reflect is brought to you by the minds at ByteBrain and powered by emerging technologies from Google, HeyGen, OpenAI, and 11 Labs. Thanks for tuning in. Now, relax and prepare to reflect.
You know, I had this this funny realization this morning while I was just making my coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I opened up my music app, and right at the top was this morning focus mix, and it was tailored exactly to my listening history for like 7 to 9 a.m.
Of course.
And then I open a news app, and there's the For You feed, then social media, and again, it's suggested for you. And at first, it felt incredibly convenient. Like I have this digital butler anticipating my every mood.
It is convenient. I mean, it's the ultimate promise of the algorithmic age, right?
Yeah.
This frictionless existence where you never actually have to search for anything because the machine already knows exactly what you want.
Right. But, and this is really what we're digging into today for our deep dive, I suddenly felt just kind of lonely.
Lonely.
Yeah, like I'm sitting in this perfectly comfortable, velvet-lined bubble, but I have absolutely no idea what anyone else in the world is listening to or reading. I'm just the king of a kingdom of one.
That is a very profound observation, and it actually cuts right to the heart of the sources we are looking at today.
Because we have a really fascinating manifesto to unpack, right?
We do. We're looking at a reflection and a broader manifesto regarding a project called the Station Factory and the ITCHY Music Group. It's all written by a creator named Ed.
And his take is pretty radical from what I read. He's basically saying that this hyper-personalization, this velvet bubble we're all living in, is actually a trap.
Exactly. He argues that by using AI to cater to our every individual whim, we've sacrificed something vital. We've lost the shared moment.
The shared moment.
His mission, and the whole focus of this deep dive, is about using AI not to isolate us further into our own fees, but to force us back together, to reclaim what he calls the simulcast.
Reclaiming the simulcast, it sounds almost retro, like we're talking about the golden age of radio or something.
Right.
But the technology he's using is absolutely bleeding edge. So let's set the stage a bit. Who is Ed? Because the source notes paint him as a bit of a hybrid figure.
He is a study in duality, for sure. On one side, he is a deep tech veteran. We're talking about someone who has been building systems since he was 18, pre-internet days.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and currently, he's an evangelist for agent-based AI through an organization called ByteBrain.org.
Okay, let's actually pause on that term for a second because I know it's going to be crucial later. Agent-based AI, how is that different from the chatbots that everyone is using right now?
It's a great question. So think of a standard chatbot, like a really smart encyclopedia.
Yeah.
You have to ask it a question to get an answer.
Right, it just sits there waiting for me.
Exactly. It's passive. An AI agent is different. It has agency. You give it a goal, say run this radio station or manage this project, and it actively goes out and executes tasks to achieve that goal.
So it's doing the work.
It makes decisions. It interacts with other software. It's a worker, not just a reference book.
Got it. So Ed is operating at that really high level, building autonomous digital workers. But you said he has a duality. What's the other half?
His parallel fire, as he calls it, is music, specifically metal. He founded Itchy Metal Entertainment out in Las Vegas, which eventually evolved into the ITCHY Music Group. And he describes this label as the world's first human plus AI record label.
Which is a very cool title. But I feel like we see human plus AI slapped on everything these days. Usually it just means, you know, we use an AI to write our press release.
True, but in this case, the origin story is really specific. It actually started with a LinkedIn post. Ed wrote a piece framing AI as a creative instrument.
Like a synthesizer or a guitar.
Precisely. He was looking at it as a tool to help artists write better riffs, refine lyrics, maybe break through writer's block, not replacing the human, but amplifying them.
The Iron Man suit argument, the AI just makes the human stronger.
Exactly. But looking back on that, Ed calls that initial idea just a wireframe.
A wireframe like you'd use in web design.
Right. In software, a wireframe is just the sketch you draw before you build the real thing. It's the scaffolding. Ed realized that his focus on creating music with AI was just the skeleton of the idea.
So what was the real building then?
The real disruption wasn't about how music is made. It was about how music is experienced, how it's shared and preserved. And that realization is what birthed the Station Factory.
Okay, so move us from the wireframe to the factory. What did he actually build here?
He built a broadcasting engine. It's rooted in his ITCHY broadcast system. It's an AI-enabled system that runs 24/7.
So it's always on.
Always on. It handles smart scheduling, dynamic playlists, hybrid curation, but crucially, and this brings in that agent part we talked about earlier, it does automated social blasts.
So it's not just playing the music, it's talking about it online.
It acts like a digital town crier. When a track plays, the AI logs into platforms like X or Facebook and announces, now playing this song by this artist. It pushes the information out to the world in real time.
Okay, so far that sounds very efficient. It sounds like a super smart automated internet radio station. But you started this whole deep dive by saying his goal was to pop the personalization bubble. How does a smart playlist do that?
This is where the philosophy gets really fascinating. Because it's not about the features he added. It's about the features he removed. The Station Factory is built entirely on a philosophy of constraint.
Constraint. But we usually want more features. We want all the buttons.
Not here. On the Station Factory, the listener has volume control. That is it.
Wait, really?
Really. There is no fast forward. There is no pause. There is no skip button.
No skip button at all.
None. There is no play next. There is no on-demand cue.
Whoa, okay. In a world where you and I can summon literally any song ever recorded in 3 seconds on a streaming app that sounds, well, it sounds broken, or at least incredibly frustrating, why would anyone build a platform that strips away all our control?
Because Ed is a student of Barry Schwartz. Are you familiar with the book The Paradox of Choice?
Oh, yeah. That's the idea that having too many options actually makes us miserable, right? Like standing in the cereal aisle and feeling completely paralyzed because there are 50 different kinds of flakes.
Precisely. Schwartz argues that abundance breeds anxiety. If you have 10 million songs in your pocket, you suffer from decision fatigue. You're constantly wondering, is this the absolute best song I could be listening to right now?
Yeah, you're never actually fully present with the music.
Because you're already thinking about what to queue up next. You aren't listening, you're managing.
I feel that with streaming movies all the time. I spend 45 minutes scrolling through thumbnails, I get totally exhausted, and then I just turn the TV off and go to sleep.
We all do it. And the source points out that Ed argues these tailored on-demand feeds, they actually feed a kind of narcissism.
Narcissism? How so?
Because it becomes all about me. My taste, my time, my control. It prioritizes the individual over the collective, and it pushes us into isolation. So by taking away the skip button, he is forcing simultaneity.
Simultaneity. Okay, let's unpack that because that feels like the core of this whole thing.
It creates a shared moment. Think about a major live event, the Super Bowl, or maybe the series finale of a huge TV show back in the 90s. Why did those moments feel so electric?
Because you knew everyone else was watching it at the exact same time. You could go to work the next day and talk about it. It was truly collective experience.
Exactly. That is simultaneity. And the Station Factory creates a pure simulcast. If a track drops on the station, it drops the exact same second for a listener in Port Orchard as it does for a listener in Tokyo or Berlin or Sao Paulo.
So we are literally all on the exact same wavelength.
Yes. Listeners become what the source calls co-travelers in sound.
Oh, travelers in sound. I like that.
It's powerful because if you tune out, you miss it. If your favorite artist comes on, you can't just save it to a playlist for later while you go make a sandwich. You have to be there.
You have to be present.
You have to be present. It recaptures the electricity of live radio, that visceral feeling that the moment is happening right now and we're all in it together.
It's so funny because we usually define technological progress as giving us more control. I want what I want when I want it. But Ed is suggesting that the ultimate luxury in the modern world might actually be surrendering control.
Surrendering control to gain connection. That is the ultimate trade-off here. And what's fascinating is that this wasn't just a theoretical, philosophical exercise for him. Ed actually turned the system on.
Right. He built it and flipped the switch. So what happened?
The human impact was immediate and surprisingly emotional.
Okay, let's get into that. He flips the switch on this AI-driven, completely unskippable radio station.
Well, the AI agent wakes up and it starts doing its job. It digs through the massive archives of the ITCHY music group. We're talking years of tracks, B-sides, things that had just been sitting on hard drives gathering digital dust.
Forgotten files, essentially.
Exactly. It starts spinning them on the simulcast. And because of the automation we talked about, it instantly starts posting those. Now, playing updates to social media.
The town crier starts shouting into the digital void.
And people actually heard it. Ed started getting flooded with messages. And these weren't just technical, hey, cool, app bro kind of messages. They were deeply, deeply personal.
What kind of things were people saying to him?
He heard from artists he hadn't connected with in over a decade. People sending messages saying things like, I haven't heard my music in so long, or I didn't even know you still had those tracks.
That's amazing. It's almost like opening a time capsule, but doing it publicly for the whole world to see.
It really is. But then it got even deeper. There's a specific story in the source material that really struck me. It's the emotional peak of the whole experiment, really.
Yeah.
Ed describes former bandmates reaching out to him to say that other members of their groups had actually passed away.
Oh, wow.
And suddenly this automated broadcast wasn't just a random playlist anymore. It became a memorial.
A way to honor them.
Exactly. There's this incredible realization Ed describes where families are hearing the music on the stream and realizing that the old dad in the corner used to be a rock star.
That gives me chills. Old Dad in the Corner used to be a rock star. And they're realizing this entirely because an AI agent decided it's time to play this track, and the system broadcasted it to the globe.
Think about the massive difference between that and a Spotify playlist. If that song was just a file sitting on a server, it has potential energy. It's dormant. Nobody is experiencing it.
Right.
But when it's broadcast in a simulcast, it has kinetic energy. It's moving. It's alive in that exact second.
Yeah.
The family listening knows that other people out there in the world are hearing it right now, too. That shared witness is what gives the moment weight.
It validates the art. It says this matters enough to be played for everyone right now. It's not just buried in some subfolder you have to explicitly search for.
And this experience shifted Ed's energy completely. He notes in the text that for the first time in ages, he worked on a tech project for 2 days straight, 48 hours. And he felt energized rather than drained.
Which is incredibly rare in the tech world. Burnout is usually the default state.
It is. But he was energized because the technology was no longer just about corporate optimization. It wasn't about keeping users addicted to a personalized feed to sell ads. It was serving pure connection. It was reviving dormant legacies in real time.
It really changes the whole equation of human plus AI, doesn't it? Usually we think human plus AI equals efficiency. I can write my emails faster. I can code faster. But this sounds entirely different. This sounds like human plus AI equals community.
Or human plus AI equals legacy. The AI provides the infrastructure, the 24/7 scheduling the social, blasting the digging through the archives. It handles the scale so that the humans can actually feel connected across time and space.
It's using the artificial to rescue the real.
That is a beautiful way to put it.
So we've got the origin story, we've got the emotional impact of flipping the switch, but Ed's vision doesn't just stop at one internet radio station, right? He sees something much bigger scaling out of this.
He does. If we connect this to the bigger picture, Ed sees this as just the seed of what he calls a simulcast ecosystem.
A simulcast ecosystem. What does that actually look like in practice?
Well, it starts with the AI as a creative accelerator, helping artists produce and curate their work. But the fuller disruption is that creators everywhere can launch their own factories.
So not just ITCHY radio, but thousands of these unskippable AI-run stations.
Exactly. Niche communities built around human content, AI-generated content, or hybrid content. But the absolute key here is that they operate on a federated model.
Federated. Okay, that's a bit of a tech buzzword. Let's break that down for the listener. What does a federated network mean?
The best way to think of it is like email versus Facebook. Facebook is a walled garden. You have to be inside the platform to see what's inside the platform. Email, on the other hand, is federated. Anyone using Gmail can email someone using Outlook or Yahoo. The providers talk to each other.
Right.
Ed envisions a network where these independent stations can trade rotations, cross-collaborate, and share content freely across the ecosystem.
So my personal station could say, hey, for the next hour, we're handing the broadcast over to this incredible other station based in Berlin.
Exactly. It creates a web of discovery. It's a network of lighthouses instead of isolated silos. And because it's all based on that simulcast principle, it fights that isolation we talked about at the very beginning.
Because it's not just an algorithm suggesting a song you might like in private. It's a literal invitation to join a room.
It sounds like a massive move from consumption to congregation.
That is the fundamental shift. And it totally redefines the role of the creator. In the current model, the creator is just fighting for your attention against a billion other short-form clips on a feed. In the Station Factory model, the creator is hosting a gathering.
I keep going back to that paradox of choice thing, though. I mean, if this vision really takes off, do you think people are actually ready to give up their skip button?
We are pretty deeply addicted to our control. I think we're actually seeing the early signs of a revolt against the algorithm. People are getting tired of the echo chamber. They're tired of the feedback loop that only ever shows them what they already agree with or what they already like. There is a real hunger out there for serendipity.
Serendipity versus curation.
Curation is safe. Curation is comfortable. Serendipity is risky. You tune in, and you might actually hear a song you don't like.
And that is okay. It is okay. That is part of the shared experience. Think about a community potluck dinner versus ordering delivery on your phone.
Okay, I like this analogy. Let's hear it.
With a delivery app, you get exactly what you want, exactly when you want it. It is perfectly personalized. But you eat it alone on your couch. A potluck is a simulcast. You don't control what everyone brings to the table. Maybe someone brings a really weird gelatin salad from the 70s,
Right.
but you experience it together. You laugh about the weird salad, or maybe you try it and discover you actually love it.
So the station factory is the digital potluck.
And the AI is just the dedicated organizer ensuring the food keeps coming out to the tables 24/7.
That distinction, the kinetic moment versus the dormant file, it seems so crucial to all of this. We are drowning in files. We have access to literally everything ever made, but we are starving for moments.
Ed is very explicit about that in the text. The music sitting on the hard drive had zero actual value. It was dead data. The value was generated entirely by the moment of the broadcast. By removing the ability to pause or skip the system, creates scarcity, and scarcity creates value.
It makes the attention matter. You can't just bank the experience for later.
Exactly. It's almost a punk rock approach to AI when you think about it. It uses the machine to fight the machine.
I love that. Using the machine to fight the machine. It's utilizing these high-tech autonomous agents to satisfy a very primal, very ancient human need. The need to belong to a tribe, to sit around the campfire and hear the exact same story at the exact same time.
And isn't that what we're all really missing? We're so busy curating our perfect little digital lives that we completely miss the messy, beautiful reality of shared time.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the station factory and Ed's manifesto, let's recap the journey we just took. We went from a simple LinkedIn post about creative tools to a global philosophy of unskippable shared experiences.
We saw how a wireframe idea blossomed into a full broadcast engine. We looked at the psychology of choice and why having fewer options might actually make us significantly happier. And we saw the real-world proof of it all. The emotional reconnection of old friends and the revival of a musical legacy through the power of the simulcast.
It's such a powerful reminder that the next big thing in tech might not be about faster processing or better graphics or more personalization. It might just be about finding new ways to make us feel less alone.
And the real takeaway here is about the profound value of presence. In a world completely drowning in on-demand options, surrendering control just to share a fleeting moment with strangers might be the ultimate luxury.
And the ultimate connection.
Indeed.
So here is our final thought for you to chew on today. Ed's invitation in the manifesto is to tune in, turn up the volume, and join the simulcast. He says the moment is happening right now for all of us together.
So we want you to consider this. If you couldn't skip pause or curate your life for just one single day, if you had to live entirely in simulcast mode, who might you connect with that you're currently just scrolling past?
If you finally took your finger off the eject button, who would you actually hear? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you in the stream.
In the cyber ocean of online voices and recycled content, something different has arrived. Reflect isn't just another podcast, it's the future of storytelling, powered entirely by AI. From curating data to assembling thought-provoking ideas, we've redefined how journeys are told. Reflect is a podcast that thinks, learns, and evolves with each episode. Every tale, every insight, crafted by the most advanced AI technologies. A podcast that disrupts the industry, breaking free from traditional formats, taking you on an entirely new experience. So tune in now and reflect. We're telling the future.